In Venezuela, it seems like America is showing its military presence. We've been taking out narco-terrorists. A conflict about, and Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, addressed this earlier today, in terms of the chain of command and taking out the right decision to take out these boats that are bringing drugs into our country that are killing Americans. Maduro's been basically told by the president to get out. Are we on the verge of a possible conflict here?
No. So there are a couple things that I would say about it. The first is what the president has authorized is a counter-drug mission in the region. The fact that Maduro is upset about it tells you that drugs are coming out of Venezuela. If you look at these boats, the Maduro regime is not a legitimate government. What it is it's a transshipment organization. It allows cocaine and other drugs that are produced in Colombia to be trafficked through Venezuelan territory, and with the cooperation of elements of the regime, are allowed to sail out on airplanes and leave Venezuela on airplanes and ships headed towards the United States. So they openly cooperate with the drug dealers. In addition to that, the Venezuelan regime is a source of instability in the entire region. Over 8 million Venezuelans have flooded into neighboring countries as a result of the regime's activities within their own country, including into the United States. They also happen to be the foothold of Iran. That's not spoken about enough. Iran, its IRGC, and even Hezbollah has a presence in South America, and one of their anchor presence, especially for the Iranians, is inside of Venezuela. So we just finished talking about Iran and the hostility it has towards the United States. Where they have planted their flag in our hemisphere is on Venezuelan territory with the full and open cooperation of that regime. So the fact that Maduro feels threatened by the presence of U.S. assets in the region and a counter-drug mission, it proves that he's into the drug business. And by the way, it's not me saying it. I'm not just making this up. This was an indictment that came out of the Southern District of New York back in 2020, an indictment. It was undisputed until the president decided to do something about it. No one disputed that Maduro was in the drug trafficking business. No one. Yeah. Now that he's doing something about it, you have all these people on the left and others that are coming out saying, well, it's not true and it hasn't been proven. We have an indictment by a grand jury, not by politicians, by a grand jury in the Southern District of New York that indicted him and a bunch of people in the regime. So that's what's important to point out here. Now, all that being said, I also, it's interesting, if an aircraft carrier of the United States was deployed off the coast of Japan, or was the coast in the Pacific somewhere, or was deployed in the Mediterranean, or somewhere off the coast of Europe, everybody would be happy because it would show America's commitment to our security partnerships that we have around the world. But somehow, if an aircraft carrier and our naval assets are deployed in our own hemisphere, that's problematic. I would say that if you're focused on America and America first, you start with your own hemisphere, where we live. What happens here, I'm not saying things that are happening halfway around the world are not important. I'm saying what happens in our hemisphere impacts us